Ah, not used to these. These are an addition to American Truck Simulator that they basically need to make sure I have a license to carry this unused packaging. I think that's what it is. Used packagings. I was close. The opposite of unused. Completely used. Gently used. I'd pop on some tunes that I have, but I'd probably get a copyright strike. Anyone who happens to be viewing, if you have any questions or any things you want to share or talk about, feel free. I don't bite. The only rule I have is, be civil with each other and, respect my wishes. If I don't want to talk about something, don't cry. Although I'm usually very, I'll be open to something as long as it's, within reason. So I just realized I gotta. Let me see. I want to make this more realistic. I've never played with fines on, so I want to make sure fines are. Yep, fatigue and fines are on. So yeah. In fact, give me a sec. I'm going to change the basic info. Also, I should. Sorry for people who just may be joining in. Although I don't see anyone other watching other than me. Well, I think I advertised it as much as I'm going to. It'd probably help if I announce these things ahead, but I just felt like doing it impromptu. Again, if anyone has any questions, let me know. Turn down the volume slightly. Whenever I start a new profile, the volume's all like messed up. Anyway. By the way, the only way I could actually get this to render properly in OBS was to use a window capture and not a game capture. And I have no idea why. When I would run it in a OpenGL or a DirectX capture, it would actually only render about, say, a third of the screen. I'm not talking about like a third in a corner, I'm talking about like a third in the center. And that's a bit of a problem, as you could probably figure out. Yeah, I don't want my viewers only seeing half of that. I want them to be able to see at least the main window when I'm viewing. You know, that's fair. By the way, one thing I want to point out for people who might be joining in at any moment, you know, I'm new to streaming. I'm very new to streaming. I, frankly, have little to no idea what I'm doing. And the only oh shit, I just realized I'm speeding. Yeah, I'm used to speeding because I have fines turned off, but you know what? I want to do this legit. You know, I don't want to break any laws. Besides, I'm in California. Lord only knows what will happen if I break the law in California. Probably be hauling some straws or something. They make me and then the NCRs be like, "You're a terrorist." I'm gonna message this to some individuals. Just surprised that, you know. Yeah, not many people on this evening. Yeah, I'm looking at my yeah, not that many people on my friends list are, you know, it is kind of late and it's a school night and all this. But, you know, I'm going to try to see if I can't get some people in here that are a bit lively. Besides, there's no one in here right this instant. any other places I can Okay. I have done what I can. Also, I'm sorry that there's not more to look at, like I'm kind of limited by what the sim, by what the by the way, oh hi, Taka. I notice you in the corner there. You are watching me truck through California. I got some used packaging, but it's really a bunch of straws. Don't tell the NCR. For the love of God, don't tell California. You know, they might put me in jail. So I'm just trucking right now. Just trucking through California. The only reason I'm actually based out of Reno, Nevada. And I'm actually not playing the Oregon expansion, which just came out, and I did buy that, but I haven't. But it's not compatible with this mod that I'm playing. I think they're going to update it either today or tomorrow to be compatible with Oregon. Which, to be honest, the mod I'm using, Coast to Coast, while it is a noble effort, it still requires a lot of work. I'm actually trying to figure out how to use the map editor to maybe chip in for the Ohio, because I live in Ohio, and let me tell you, though, as bad as Ohio is, this mod doesn't do it justice. Like, I understand America Truck Sim is not nearly been around as much as its counterpart in, the counterpart, Euro Truck Sim. You know, it's weird. Euro Truck Sim 2, the thing is, that's in Europe. Actually made a mod for Euro Truck Sim 2 where there's two trailers. One is dank memes and one is deep fried memes, because I thought Article 13 was ridiculous. I mean, Article 11, the more I read into it, there's some warrant to it, and but on the other hand, Article 13, I just don't see the point in it. All it's going to do is cause other things. But that's the other thing. There's also there's not just dank memes, there's deep fried memes, which require, since they're explosive, you gotta have like an ADR class, I think of 1, which is explosive. So you have to be able to use that. You have to level up before you can carry deep fried memes. Oh, hello. I see there's a Another person just came in here. Salve. Actually, okay, I have to admit, I am using a mod which basically, if you put it where you need it, you get a lot more experience. I'm actually probably going to disable that in the next playthrough because it feels kind of. I kind of just wanted a mod that would like double the experience you got, but you know. Parking these either way. You know what? Give me a sec here. And when you level up, you basically you can apply that to skills, as you'll see. Um, the skills range from yeah, I'm well aware of what that is. Now, just I'm using a mod that basically allows you to like like different drivers and basically, and I put myself in there because why not? Why not? But basically, I wanted more drivers. Okay. Now, since I basically always invest in just to explain the skills a bit for those who aren't maybe haven't played this game much. Oh, Brazil. Oh, hi. Um, Hope you're doing good there in Brazil. But yeah, there's different skill levels that you have. Hazardous cargo, as I said, class 1, class 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, let me see if I can scroll. As you can see, you basically get from you get some really nasty stuff: poisons, biohazard, corrosive substances. Basically, I notice here it goes. There's no class 5 or 7. Anyway, long distance. The more distance you go, it gives you a lot more range from where. This actually comes more in handy when you actually have your own truck and garage. Basically, depending on where you are, the garage can. Well, let's just say if you start from your garage, you're basically limited to, right now it's up to 400 miles. I think I'm not sure what the base is, but I know for a fact that it's supposed to be a bit more linear when it comes to the default. I don't know what mods I have, but as I have fines enabled because I wanted a slightly more realistic experience. High value cargo, basically you get more expensive stuff. The only thing I'm not comfortable with is I'm not good with dealing with damage just yet. However, if I get more comfortable, I'll remove the damage. That no damage mod. I'm kind of getting used to this. I've been trying to fiddle with the Steam controller too. Fragile cargo, the more delicate stuff. Basically, if you were to roll over or something. But basically, the more you put into this, the more you get more money based on this too. Just-in-time delivery for when you really need to get something going. Fuel economy. Now this one, basically, this one makes you save gas. As you'll see. There are all. This is a new feature. I actually haven't figured out, but there's actually ways of delivering other people's cargo. And of course, here's the mods for this includes some parts in Canada and some part. Now I've noticed they've really most of the map has been done in Oklahoma, northern Texas for the Coast to Coast mod. However, you know, as you get to Ohio, there's only one fucking city in Columbus. That's Columbus, and Cleveland. I mean, there's more to it. I mean, they could have put Cambridge there. They could have put Cincinnati down there. I see that Salvador is someone actually wanting to make more, like expand this out a bit, and I was trying to figuring out was like, how could I? Because I know this area quite well, and also know this quite well. So I'm not planning on going anywhere beyond this. You know, for now, the West Coast, because the East Coast could use them. In fact, Canada is a lot more developed than Eastern America is. The South seems to have gotten actually a lot of treatment, say, except for Tennessee. I don't like there is so much they could do with this. I mean, yeah. Although the Mexico mod is very good, as you can see, they actually there's actually quite a lot that you can play and with. But yeah, I'm going to stop fiddling around the map. Let's pick some car. Now, when you're doing a quick job, you can pick wherever you want. So what I mean by that is any place you've discovered, you can basically, that's where you can start from. But here's where it gets interesting, right? I start from Reno, so I'm going to there. Now, there's obviously a route that you can go to Redding. Actually, I've been up in Northern California before. I visited a few friends in California a couple years back. They were like, let's do this job. And by the way, I'm also using a mod that changes some of the company names. To be honest, it also leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, basically, now, later on in this, you can buy your own truck and use this to haul goods. And hopefully, eventually we'll be able to see that. Also, you'll see that there's a gray question mark up there. That's basically, it could be one of two things. One, it could be a agency where you can hire drivers once you get your own array of trucks and garages. But you can also, it can also be a place to buy truck. It's going to be a Peter Britt. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. I think Peter Britt. I would make a horrible trucker. Yeah, I also have a mod that replaces some of the more generic. I just like stuff to be. On one hand, I like it to be realistic, but on the other hand, I have a fake drivers that aren't even based on real people. Not even, unless they happen to be a photograph of a real person. You'll see what drivers I mean as this playthrough continues. Now, you may have noticed I didn't start at the beginning with I didn't start at the beginning very well with I didn't start at the beginning of the haul. I started at a save that I had, and that was because I wanted to I was actually testing to make sure the mods were working earlier before this, and because sometimes mods can break, and I noticed that that's when I discovered that Oregon basically conflicts with this mod. So right now, Oregon is not downloaded for me, but I do have it, and the minute the Coast to Coast is updated, I will be buying it. I just, someone pointed out to me that Euro Truck Sim 2 and American Truck Sim are both very expensive games because you pretty much, all the mods for it basically require the DLC. But to be honest, I've acquired the DLC over the course of a few years. I don't think it's a ripoff. They put a lot of work into it. And even the mods for it are, they put a lot of work into it. It's just the only reason Coast to Coast doesn't have as much as it should is because I think it's like 1 or 2 people doing it. And he's only one person, as opposed to Pro Mods, which is done by a bunch of people. And that's why I'm hoping if I can figure out how to map for Ohio for that specific project, I could pretty much do it. Yeah. I need to stop and get some gas. I just noticed I'm almost out of gas. The appeal. Taka, actually, you asked a very good question. I find the game to be very relaxing. And one of the reasons I'm playing it, I kind of had a rough day, it was very rainy, dark, and dreary today. Me and my roommate have been feeling very good. Or as my girlfriend, to be honest, and I just decided I just wanted to play something that's relaxing. I find this is a game that's, despite it being a trucking simulator, which is one of the tougher jobs to do, freight is very hard to do. A lot of people tend to crap on like people who like work in like freight yards and truckers and all that, but I mean, to be honest, they're the backbone of logistics in this country, and to give them a lot of respect. Not to say that individuals can't be horrible, but the jobs as a whole, and I find a lot of people who go, we need to, they don't understand like how a job works and all that, and this gives me a lot of insight. Even if it's not a perfect simulation, there's still a lot that goes into trucking. And one of the things that and this is something I actually did not know, is that in certain states they have weight restrictions on what cargo you have. Also, they have a certain restrictions for what you can carry and where. In fact, actually, I did know that last bit a little, because in Ohio, there's a beltway around both Columbus and around Cincinnati. The beltway serves as a bypass, not just for local traffic that isn't going directly into Columbus or Cincinnati, but it also serves as a way for hazardous materials to be served. Believe it or not, there was a big incident a few years ago, I think in Columbus, where some guy had hazardous materials. He did not take the bypass, and he actually crashed into something. It caught fire and actually burnt the overpass that he crashed into. He survived. No one got killed, thank God, but he had apparently ignored that and was carrying something and actually destroyed the overpass. And keep in mind, this was around like 4th of July when this happened, and we have a big fireworks show in Columbus, so essentially it could have so basically that overpass, which was a part of the irony was the bypass was exactly what he had burnt up. It's ironic in a way that if he had taken the bypass, it would not have happened. Anyway, there was also a structural. I think either it burnt up or it collapsed because of the cargo he was carrying. I forget which one. Anyway, basically because of the wreck. Columbus, ODOT basically had a nightmare on their hands. They had to fix that up very quickly, and they were able to. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they were able to. Anyway, basically, I forget it. Maybe I'm mixing up my stories there. I'm beginning to remember now. It was someone had struck an overpass and it collapsed. But still, you have to mind these things. And as a trucker, you should be up to date with your laws and have your permits on hand and all that. There's actually a trucker I follow on YouTube who I watch his videos once in the blue moon. And one of the things he does is he makes sure he's all good in basically all 50 states. And he lives in Ontario. I think he's from Russia, I think. Is that Russia or the Ukraine? Anyway, he left there, came to Canada, and basically he's a trucker internationally for both the United States and Canada. He frequents more shipping stuff across the border. There's a lot of logistics in there too, which unfortunately Euro Truck Sim and... Euro Truck Sim does actually cover it to some degree, but in American Truck Sim, since it's centered on America and all the mods for it are unofficially supported, as in they're unofficial. They're basically, you don't see the logistics there, but it does give you a decent idea of just how much it goes. Like, yeah, you start off as a freelance person who just goes around job to job hauling freight, and then you get your own truck, you become your own company, and all that jazz. So yeah, it does give you a lot of ideas into logistics. Also, one of the other things it does kind of get you into is, well, if you just do what I do and turn off damage, it's a very relaxing game, good to take your mind off shit. Now, if you enable damage, you have to be on your toes, but either way, it's a great distraction. It can be very rewarding, especially if you don't use mods. Even if you do use mods, it's still rewarding as hell to basically, play the game, deliver freight, and as you can tell, it's very scenic. A lot of the, if you use, I use a Steam controller, and I use this overlay. As you can see, there's several buttons I can use. Basically, it simplifies a lot of the things. Also, if you have, say, a steering wheel with a gear shift, that's expensive, but you could actually simulate manual drive transmission. So, I know a lot of truckers who are retired who apparently love this game. I've seen them a lot on the SES forums. So there's a lot of appeal to it. If you're willing to buy the base game, save up more and more for the DLC, I don't regret it. I honestly think it's great. And if with the world of mods and maps and all that, basically you could make it your own experience. I'm not going to be able to get to it tonight because I don't have enough money to buy my own truck and then buy another garage. But basically, I actually made a mod for this. It basically has a shit ton of drivers, and none of them are most of them are from drawings and fan art and shit that people have done. It's not like real drivers. They're all fictional characters, save for a few people who are YouTubers. I just did that just to be kind of, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Oh god, there needs to be a gas station or else I'm going to lose. I could technically make it on that, but I don't want to. I really should have got gas before I left Reno. See, that's another thing too, is if you get stuck, you do get penalized for getting stuck. Let me check. I think I can make it. I'm just basically, I'm going to have to just clench my teeth and keep a steady acceleration. One of the things I don't like about Euro Truck and America Truck Simulator is and this ain't the fault of the game itself, but I've noticed this. In order to use a Steam controller, I've had to. It has to use a Steam overlay, and I've noticed Nvidia's drivers have been buggy as shit with it, and I can't quite figure out why. I mean, I don't know why Nvidia keeps putting up dodgy drivers that fuck over the Steam overlay with these games only. I mean, you'd think someone in Q and quality assurance would basically be going, hey, those truck sims that people like, our drivers kind of don't work with them. We should probably consider that. I'm going to actually check my... I'm pretty much there. Might as well keep going. It's going to be close, though. I might. I'm honestly... I don't know why Steam is notifying you that much. I've noticed Steam's been doing that for me too with other people. I'm gonna have to report that. I'm in the Steam beta, but that shouldn't be doing anything. I'll see what I can do to alleviate that. I'm sorry for the message spam on a Steam. That's not something I can control, but it might have something to do with the fact that I had to roll back Nvidia's drivers in order to make this playable. Yeah, the biggest problem for me with is that the driver can be, as I said, the driver can basically fuck you over, and if you so much as sneeze near the and get the Steam overlay not working, you can't configure the at all, where you can't do the the thing with the overlay that allows you to do multiple keybinds, which is extremely crucial. So fortunately, you can just use WASD if you really want to. And I had to do that one time my Steam controller glitched out. I'm not sure why Valve's Steam controller... I mean, I've never had issues until Windows 10. I'm pretty sure Windows 10's messing with it somewhat. A lot of people have a lot of flack for Windows 10, and I understand their grievances, but I personally, it weren't for those things. It's a solid operating system. I basically don't need any drivers for USB 3.1 or 3.0 for that matter. It's just, if it weren't for the other things, it would be solid. I'm not going to actually deliver this just yet. I want to actually... First, I'm going to get some gas because I'm not chancing it. It's a gas station right here. Pro tip. Always fill it up whenever if you're just doing a haul for a company that isn't in your own truck, they pay for everything. Tolls, everything. So, it's just best to do it. Now, here's where the... normally you'd have a truck stop or something where you get this. Remember, this is California, so the gas prices are going to be out the wazoo. See, fuel expenses covered by... Better not crash into me. I mean, I've had that, basically. I've had that where I'm just driving along and I'm making a turn. I'm obviously turning around. The AI just crashes into me, like... Yeah, it's one of those driving agencies. Now, I'm gonna turn around at this. I don't know what this was before, but it claims to be a Walmart. But I've never seen a Walmart with that logo. But yeah, you know, if you just a nice little relaxing game. It can be a little frustrating at times, but oh, newer ones look like that. You're talking about the you're talking about like the flower-looking logo, right? I'm still used to the blocky letters. Mine actually has one, but there's two in my county that two WalMarts. But I've never seen a sign like that. I'm thinking they just skinned whatever sign was like that. You know, before. I'll have to actually look that up. Anyway, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna turn here. I'm gonna go for actually parking it. And then after this, I'm going to stop the game just for a brief moment to remove the mod that has the that gives me the boatload of experience if I park it away, because and that's because it doesn't give me practically any experience for parking it. Why do I suddenly feel like a British truck driver? I just want to tell. What do Californians have in common with a statue? They never fucking move. Yeah, so after that, it won't take me long to. In fact, I don't even think I need to reboot the game. I just need to, you know, there's a way to just change it and all right. Yeah. Yeah, the hell with that. Some of these are really difficult to do, like. Even this one, which is the medium difficulty one. Hi, cat. My cat decided he wanted to show himself. You know what? I'm not dealing with that. That looked like it was going to be difficult. Give me a sec. I need to. My cat has show you some of the mods I have. Alright, so what you do is go down to profiles here. I have two profiles. This is an older one that's also connected to my World of Trucks account. Now you notice like my icon doesn't show up. That's because the mod's not loaded. I'll show you, and it's this mod that I have. Profile picture replacement. It's not on the. It's one that I've made. I might release it someday, but not right now. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I gotta find the. Where's the parking? Yeah, yeah, here we go. And now it's telling me, yeah, there's a mod that you aren't loading anymore, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. It should be fine. I don't know why my icon looks so bright. I think they added some sort of gamma thing so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Basically, gamma is like a brightness thing, I think. The Hulk. No. Sorry, I burped there. Now there is an Oregon state, as you could see, but it's actually not enabled. Like, what I mean by that is, if the DLC was active, this would be with a lot more cities. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm going to be, am I back? I just had a brief disconnect. Anyway. Yeah, I had a brief disconnect. So I'm going to make sure my voice filter is working. Yeah. So, let's see here. Get here. Just take this job. Yeah, there's actually a mod that puts radiator springs from cars in there. I downloaded it just because why the fuck not? Oh, come on. I didn't crash into anything. California. Fucking California. Now I'm beginning to think this was a mistake. You know what? Going to roll around. For some reason, OBS does not really. It's been intermittent with YouTube. I don't know if that's YouTube or my internet service provider or both. But basically, I've been having a lot of trouble with. I'm considering moving to Twitch, but I hear Twitch is even more. Oh. Cop nabbed me. They're really happy with getting you in this game. Then again, it is California. I just got nabbed for speeding. I was only going like 5 miles above the speed limit, but that didn't matter. Surprised they didn't get me for not having my lights on. That was you, asshole. That was you. Does someone know the Morse code for suck my ass? Please, if you do, write it in the comments. Let's see what emails I was getting here. Drivers that with Reno. I don't have my own. Okay. I always try to manipulate my route so I basically can discover stuff. Alright, let's see here. I can't, you know, I'll do it when I'll do it when I'm not, you know, on duty. I'll have to memorize it, but thank you, Taka. I will have to. My cat is beneath me. You know what? I'm gonna do something here. This may make people not want to watch me, but you know what? I'm feeling better, sweetie, thanks. Also, I disabled fines because you know what? Middle finger to California. Let's see, what am I hauling anyway? Packaged food. Oh, I'm hauling packaged food. That makes it even worse. Surprised I haven't been pulled over and they basically haven't gone. Sonia, we can't have food. You're hauling food. We can't have that. Because we're California. Reminds me of one. And I hate the fact that I'm making a Family Guy reference, but you know, knowing my potential audience here, it reminds me of this Family Guy episode where he's on the plane and he's going, "Look at me, I'm Winston Churchill." Basically, I would just be doing the same thing except, "Look at me, I'm California." I don't have straws because I'm California. I don't have food to give my citizens because I'm California. That's just everyone on the plane. Everyone on the everyone's basically like, stop that. My wife is very sick, and I'm like, I don't care because I'm California. And I get thrown off the plane. Like, they don't even stop at an airplane. They just throw me out the airplane and just, they'll teach me to do stand-up comedy. Still funnier than Amy Schumer. I mean, to be fair though, yeah, basically it's like, look at me, I'm Winston Churchill. And then it's like, my wife is very sick. Yeah. I think it was actually one of the earlier Family Guy ones. Like season 2 or 3, I think. I mean, there's... Oh, Amy Schumer is so unfunny. I think when I saw Ellen DeGeneres post a video on her YouTube saying, the unbelievably hilarious Amy Schumer, I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's unbelievable. Just about, like, my grandpa's funeral was legitimately funnier than Amy Schumer. And I love the fact that Netflix virtue signaled and was like, oh, people are leaving negative reviews for Amy Schumer's review. Well, we're going to get rid of the ability to say our, for people to leave feedback on our original series. And I think that's a bit shit. Like, I quit doing Netflix because I just wasn't involved in many of the shows. Like, the only show I was really watching that was on Netflix was, there's a few that I'm actually interested in. Agretsuko, BoJack Horseman. It was no coincidence. Like, I've heard from multiple people that's literally what happened. Yeah, Amy Schumer can't take criticism. Yeah, basically Amy Schumer's a big... Basically, way too whiny. Yeah, people are way too whiny about, like, getting criticism. It's like... But on the other hand, sometimes critics... I mean, we all know the SU critics, can be a bit over, but, like, there's sometimes legitimate criticism that can be given, but, people are just... Well, Taka, it's current year. We have to... either you like something or you don't. There's no nuance. It's like me saying, yeah, Steven Universe is a great show, flaws and all. And then basically Lily Pete's like, oh, you. So what you're saying is that you are a Nazi supporter. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I have not watched her 2 hour monologuing about how bad Steven Universe is, and I'm not going to. Because I know it's going to not only piss me off, but I also know for a fact it's probably going to... some of the shit's probably predictable. Like, I'm sure some Yesu crits are probably eating that shit up like it's fucking broccoli. That is, if you fucking like broccoli. And let's just be honest here. Yeah, I don't have time for that. Like, I'm going to level with you here. I think the fact that Lily Orchard, or Lily Pete, whatever the fuck she goes by, has like 660,000 views. Yeah. Yeah, I basically, that's the only people who like it are SU crits. But 660,000 views. Give me a second. I overshot my X. I need to remove... There's just one there. I can get it some other time. Like, yeah. Like, but here's the thing, and then you, yeah, but I'm hoping, Taka. But here's the other thing, right? She watched the entire series, from what I've heard, just to bitch about it. I honestly am not a big fan of Big Mouth. It looks weird. I've had it suggested by my friends. I've also had it told by my friends to stay the fuck away from it, right? I just simply refuse to watch it because I just, unless someone's having it on in the background. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, to be fair, she at least was thorough. But like, if she didn't like, from what I've seen of Big Mouth, it's not a show even I would like. So, okay, my idea, I've had people who've watched Steven Universe and go, a few episodes, and they go, it's not my cup of tea, I don't like it. And what I go do? I'm like, okay, you gave it a shot, that's fair. I like it, you don't. The world's still turning. She kept watching. Made a 2-hour video. I mean, at least Red Letter Media, when they did the Mr. Plinkett character, well, for one, Mr. Plinkett ain't a real person. He's entertaining to listen to. But he's, at least when going into the prequels, they probably weren't expecting to hate it so much. And not only that, Mr. Plinkett at least offers some legitimate criticisms to the Star Wars series. Lily Orchard, Lily Pete, whatever she goes by, she just can't do legit criticism. I know she can't do legit criticism because she can't take legit criticism. People have been critical of her behavior, and I get that. People have been critical of her behavior and what she criticizes, and that's fair to say. But whenever she gets any criticism, she flips on people. I'm not surprised that she's basically become like Hitler and recluse into a bunker somewhere on both her Discord and her Tumblr, because she's just the kind of person that, I get some people are probably just annoying her just to troll her, but some people are legitimately concerned about that. Oh, she's plagiarizing it. I didn't know she was a plagiarist, too. That's a new one on me. Watch, I'm gonna upload this video, once it's all said and done. I'm surprised we haven't been demonetized already. YouTube's just gone, we can't have you on our site. I'm just being honest with you, Taka. Yeah, I found myself, when I'm trying to talk to people about Event Horizon, I find myself quoting the Deadly Podcast, which was one of the reviews that I looked at that analyzed and did a good job. And now they're a bunch of people that can do a criticism of a movie they enjoy, but they can also say, yeah, even if it has faults, even if it's not a great thing, there's still enjoyable things about it. And so whenever I'm quoting stuff from them, I attribute it to them. I go, the Deadly Podcast has said, collectively, or an individual on the Deadly Analysis Podcast has basically said something or another. For example, in Event Horizon, they say one of the greatest things about the movie is it's probably a movie that couldn't be made today. And that's true. There's a lot of aspects about Event Horizon that make it a movie that just simply could not be made today, which, to be fair, I don't want them remaking Event Horizon. As much as I'd like to see more, Yeah, in fact, it's not just the fact that hyperspace is hell, but it just so happens that Event Horizon lines up perfectly as one of America's in Warhammer 40k's lore to being like what happens when hyperspace when you go into the warp without a Geller field that's functioning. Basically, it's the same shit. In fact, it's some people even consider it to be a prequel to Doom because it's maybe humanity's first interaction with hell through dimensional portals, which is something that Doom has done. In fact, they pointed out in Deadly Podcast, not Deadly Podcast, Deadly Analysis Podcast, that there's a lot of sound effects and things from Doom, and I noticed that not just in like the door sound effects, but there's also a sound effect that sounds like one of the Doom demon. I think the Pinky Demon roaming around. Where is it? One of the like the like a very deep bestial sound, and a lot of people joke about it, but there's actually a lot of like it's a legit fan theory that Warhammer 40,000. Oh shit! I overshot my exit. I got so engrossed in talking about Event Horizon, I overshot my exit. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm going to actually have to go to a previous save. I overshot my exit because I was so engrossed in talking about Event Horizon. I love Event Horizon. In fact, Taka, you have actually seen the movie. You've actually not seen the movie, but you have read Daytime Drama, The Apocalypse Now. You know there's a lot of shit in that movie, not in that fic. Now, that fic has a lot of references to Event Horizon. The thing is, they're references. I did not plagiarize the script verbatim. That's how you do things. References, parody, and all that, that's fine. But she obviously just, back to Lily Pete, she simply does not know the fact that that thick, I as in like fanfic. No, but here's the thing, right? Lily Pete does not know how to one, now that she's a plagiarist, add that to a list of things I absolutely think she did. She's fucking horrible at. She's just, but the other, she just, even if she didn't plagiarize, why the fuck does she think she's the end-all be-all? What is up with these crits basically going, we're full of ourselves, we are assholes, listen to us. We have every right to say whatever the fuck we want, and they're right, they do, but they basically go that they're the end-all be-all, and I don't get, yeah. Well, you say narcissist, okay. Yeah, I think that's something they definitely are. They're narcissistic. They have, but it just, I honestly would be hoping it would be something that, like, Oh, I'm pretty. Yeah. Yeah. You too. You too. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I don't know why so many people are being recommended it. Like, I get me because I watched one of her videos out of curiosity, and she lost me when she basically said that all bronies are pedophiles. She's one to fucking talk. Yeah, I. But here's the thing. Yeah, Steven Universe has gotten better. I don't know why these people are saying it's gotten worse. The only reason it feels worse is because Cartoon Network feels like we need more Teen Titans Go. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't hate Teen Titans Go, I'm just tired of seeing it. Like, I get though why people do hate it. I'm not trying to say you can't hate it. Well, yeah, that's... Well, I mean, I get recommended a lot of SU critical. Believe it or not, I get a shit ton of reviews of SU that are recommended to me that are shitty. So I probably, but the thing is, I have, like, yeah, I get the YouTube algorithms. But it seems like a lot of people who don't like her content are being recommended it. I'm just wondering, is there a way to basically tell YouTube, hey, I don't like this person's content and fuck... And I found out that they're actually making it so some YouTube channels you cannot dismiss as saying, I'm not interested in. And it's increased since net neutrality got repealed. I think we're going to see less throttling and more certain content creators being pushed by, you know... I think that's what we're going to be seeing now that net neutrality is gone. Favoritism amongst certain creators. And trust me, there's a lot of benefits that, say, people like Lily Orchard or Lily Pete, whatever. I'm just going to call her Lily Pete because... Fuck if I don't give a shit, you know. She's one of these people who just, you know, could benefit from her views being out there and no one else's. Like, now here's the thing, I probably will, label these videos saying what maybe we talked about, but I'm kind of worried, like, knowing Lily Pete, that she'd probably try to get my YouTube taken down. Notice how I'm not using any of her videos. Notice I'm not even mentioning a single goddamn thing that isn't been stated by other people, right? I'm worried that she probably is going to try to take me down. Even though I have said absolutely nothing illegal, nothing slanderous or libel. I mean, yeah, the pedophile stuff, but that's been proven. That, in fact, that's basically been all but, you know, the only thing we haven't had is a confession from her. That shit's basically been out there for some time, and there's all sorts of evidence that, to me, just adds up that it you know, it can't be easily... there's not a reasonable doubt in my mind. But the other thing is, I'm just afraid that even without that, it's just she's going to try to get... Because she just seems to be the kind of person that, oh, look at this little person on... look at this little person on YouTube mocking me. I can't have that. I'm so important, but yet my ego is so fragile. I gotta take down Sonya because she's mocking me. Like, let's just be honest, she's the kind of person that would do that. I mean... I've had people criticize my mods before, and I'm going to level with you. I take it. I clarify what's not true, and I move on. You can't please everyone, though. I think Lily Orchard, like, she's honestly one of these people that's she is fragile in her mentality, and she would probably pull the, you know, being trans card and as a like an excuse, and then you get into Alex Maurer territory. Like, I don't give a shit. I honestly don't. I'm trans too. I don't give a shit. You can't be using that as an excuse, especially for outright toxic behavior like bullying other people into submission. Oh, I just passed through a red light. It's a video game. I don't actually do this in real life. Believe it or not, I've played this game without fines enabled, and it has not affected me at all. We got a ways to go before we. This has been a long haul. See, that's another thing too. You gotta keep your eye on the GPS or on the road, because you could easily end up doing what I did and overshoot your exit in this game. You know what I think I should do? I should make a 3.5-hour video explaining why I do not like the Call of Duty franchise. But that would require me doing what G did. Sitting down and playing all the games, and frankly, I don't have that much money, and I got better things I could spend the money on. Like Bunky needs a checkup. Don't you, buddy? I don't know where he is right now. Also, I think Taco or Alice left. I can't really, I can't figure out who left. But anyway, yeah, he's fine. I mean, Alice must have left for a left or something, but maybe she's having connection issues. But yeah, Bunky's fine. He's just, yeah, I'm sure you were just, yeah, yeah, Bunky's fine. He's just got his yearly checkup. He needs a vaccine. It's gonna cost some, like $81. Thinking of taking commissions to help. If you know someone who needs something drawn in my style, forward them my way. Unless I do safe for work, but I don't, because I'm not good at not safe for work. I need more practice. Someone gave me some resources though, so I can't show that on YouTube because I'd probably go on Picardo or something, or Pixel or something. But yeah, I just could see Lily Orchard basically bullying me, and that's really sad. People will go, well, you're bullying her. I'm like, but here's the thing. I got like 50 subscribers. Like, I think 49 or 50 subscribers. I'm not that big of a person. I'm just some girl on the internet trying to play truck sims and Doom mods. Trying to make truck sim mods and Doom mods. Also, I just noticed my frame rate took a hit. Give me a second here. I'm going to increase the bit rate. Also, if you hear something in the background, my roommate is watching something. I think he's watching Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like he does. Sorry that we're, we watch a lot of Soot House in this video, in this household. I tried increasing the bandwidth on my thing, but it still looks fuzzy. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, I see what. Okay, it's improving now. It was auto setting it to 144p. We got 5 messages. Give me a second here. Sorry about that. Someone needed my input on something on another server I'm in. One thing I notice about this is this map kind of could use it's expanded a lot due to the mods, but it could use a lot of work. But the thing is, people act like mapping is so hard. Frankly, I think the only hardest part about the mod is figuring out how to use sectors properly. Because they kind of like think about it like there's certain like blocks that you draw like roads in, and that's actually that's just how you just map stuff. Now this is something I've noticed in this game. I don't know if you can catch it viewing in, but there's like a green like cross that kind of fluxes in and out, and I don't know if that's because they can't show a red cross and it's like supposed to be like a pharmacy or something. But don't pharmacies have like a different symbol in America? Anyway, I can't figure out what it's supposed to be. Is it like to me, it's like it's like a stoner's like what do they call it, dispensaries. But on the other hand, I can't figure out if that's what it's supposed to be or not. People are probably going to be in the comments going, "It's not fucking weed, you piece of shit, sir." I don't do the drugs. I live in a state where technically it is legal for medicinal use, but I'm still not going to do it. It's against my lease. I can't smoke. The estrogen makes so if I smoke, I have an increased risk of clotting anyway, and I'm not going to do that to myself. Yeah, believe it or not, there's a lot of shit that goes on when you take hormones for HRT purposes. It's we had a brief interruption there. I'm going to have to see what... I'm probably going to switch to Twitch for my next stream. And just hope that they don't get angry at me. for some of the content I yeah. You're right, Alice. One of the biggest problems with YouTube is they like to push a lot of people like that you don't care for. And it takes me forever to find stuff that I genuinely do care for. Like YouTube really likes the that's why I don't get like what these children's channels, like that. They're like, the ElsaGate stuff. I really don't get. Like these like here's the thing: these corporations, like these companies or whatever, can push out all this garbage and get all this exposure. But I can't, I can't, I can't use like 5 seconds of Convoy without my thing getting copyright striked. That's just ridiculous. There's a lot of problems with YouTube the way it is, and I don't like it. Leveled up. Normally I'm trying to do things perfectly balanced, like all things should be. And do it alone. I just bought my first truck. I just got the basic truck because it's going to take me a while to get the mods I want. There are different types of roadside stuff you can get. Yeah, I took out a loan for this bad boy. Once I get enough money, I'm paying off the loan. But you see, there's different types of places you can sleep. They're marked by the blue. Alright, now I'm going to be, while I pay off my truck, I'm going to be driving another thing, but I just wanted to have that just to show you the process. Alright. Alright, what should I, So while I pay off my truck, do some odd jobs. Grind a little bit. This one's... I should have noticed that. This one is actually an articulated trailer, meaning there's actually 2 trailer components. Oh, thank God my gas is actually full. For once. Guess my karma caught up with me. I normally try to leave my trucks full, where I'm just hoping that the game will basically grace me with good luck, going, oh, you like returning your gas tanks full, well, let us return the favor. Yeah, I don't like one of the things I always do is I try to keep my gas above half a tank empty, because if I do that, it's just a guarantee. It's just a guarantee that yeah, this here's the rubber duck. Wait, I'm about to put the hammer down. I love Convoy. It's a nice song. Relatively peaceful protests. Whoa! I was getting too much into the Convoy mood there. Oh shit! That was a cop! I just ran into a fucking cop! If I had, I probably would have been fucked if I, had fines on. That just amuses me way so much. Yeah, for my next stream, for my streams on out, I think I'm gonna try Twitch. Just because I keep getting disconnected by YouTube for no reason. And despite me having a good upstream, it keeps saying my stream health is yellow. I don't get why I'm yellow. Like, my internet connection's good. I just think YouTube basically is going, oh, we hate you. Oop, love tap someone. I'm not gonna mess with that guy. He's got a good track. Yeah, Convoy basically is one of my favorite songs. It's a country single about a bunch of truckers that form a convoy in a form of protest against police and government bureaucracy. But it's a relatively peaceful protest. Just usually involves them just going through roadblocks. Speeding, running through a gate where they're supposed to pay a toll, It's a really neat song. There's also a version of it for the movie Convoy, which has grittier, saltier lyrics. I don't really like the Convoy's song in that one. It basically they get a little bit too edgy, even for my taste. But I need to watch the movie Convoy, though, just to see if it's any good. I personally prefer Convoy in the original C.W. McCall version. My CB radio handle would probably be Waffle Iron. Waffle Iron to Salt Pone, we got ourselves a convoy. Bunky's, handle would probably be pancake griddle because he's basically, closest thing to a child I'm probably gonna have. Salt Pone, do you have yourself Prince Albert in a can? Okay, good. Excuse me. Someone be like, "Hey, Waffle Iron, what's your 20?" I go, "The cornfields." See, what am I hauling here? Oh, I'm hauling plows. Turn on some lights because it's getting dark. Despite what Tumblr says, that dark, actually, light can make dark things lighter in appearance. Don't listen to Tumblr, kids. They are not very educational. They are everything but educational. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, social justice bullshit. Like, there's legit a post going around that if you mix, like, certain chemicals together, you could actually... They say it's like it perform the ultimate cleaner. It would make chlorine gas or something like that. And, like, you don't need to, be a grade A in chemistry to understand how fucked up that could be. Like, that's just... Like, like, people may go, well, that's... I just love how people always blame, like, 4chan for that sort of thing. But I'm like, nah, it's probably Tumblr. These are the same kind of people who basically believe if you cut chocolate a certain way, you get infinite supply of chocolate. Yeah. Like, I don't think, like... Being off Tumblr makes me happier, but I do miss the few great souls that were on it that actually were worth following. A lot of friends and colleagues of mine that I'm simply but it seems like whenever I want to try to join Tumblr again, I just can't. It's just mentally exhausting and stressful. And now, like, I was trying to return with, like, a blog that basically would be more art-centric and a bit less discoursey, but I couldn't really do that because now Tumblr hates artists. Like, they've always hated artists, but now they're trying to pinpoint, go after artists who draw certain, like, people of certain races and ethnicities, and it's like, so you want us to draw, different ethnicities, but you don't want us to make up our minds, for crying out loud. I mean, if you're going to be this authoritarian, at least be consistent. It just doesn't really strike me as a very healthy thing to be struggling with. Which sucks because I genuinely like hanging out with some people on Tumblr, and I wish I could talk more with them, but on the other hand, it just seems like whenever I try to talk with people that I'm not that close to, it always seems to I tried asking Cuddles if he wanted to play some Overwatch, because I do actually play more on the European server, and he was like, nah, he didn't want to. It's like, oh, okay. I didn't want to push the issue, but it was like, that was something me and him have in common. We both like Overwatch. I like Overwatch, even if people don't people seem to not like it, and that's alright, you don't have to like everything. Not everyone has to like everything. I think not liking it, I think there's one thing not to like something, and then there's another thing to outright hate something, Taka, I know you don't like Teen Titans Go, but that's the thing, you don't go out of your way to watch it either. So I think that's one thing that I think makes you different than SU crits in a most reasonable sense. I think that's what makes everyone different than the crits, is once you don't like something, you stop watching it and you try to leave it alone and hope it goes away, but these people give it more attention than it probably deserves. I think that's something I think a lot of people could learn from. As I was saying, right when I think the stream started glitching out on me, where I think people were leaving, was they said I should probably make a video explain why I hate Call of Duty, but that would require me to play more Call of Duty. And to be honest, I don't hate it that much. I just don't care for it. I think that's another thing. People can just don't have to like things and it not be a death sentence. Yeah, one of the things I've noticed with Rude, is they leave, and SU crits, is they leave out a lot of vital information that's already there. Give me a second here. I think I'm pushing too much bandwidth. But anyway, it's like SU crits, right? They put out all this information that omits on purpose shit that has already been debunked. A lot of people are saying like SU crits will say like Steven Universe. This kid's basically a fascist apologist, but I'm like, technically all of them served under the Diamond Authority at some point. So are they all fascists? Or is Bismuth the only one that you really feel needs to be redeemed, despite her being the most, in my opinion, the worst like, she's the worst gem. Not. I'm talking about, like, with the crystal gems. Because she's the only one that I feel like hasn't truly 100% been redeemed yet. Because she's the one that did a lot wrong. Yeah, I just love that they, Alright. You going to bed? You going to bed, Alice? Also, my stream is really having trouble right now. Enough. Alright, good night. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to Twitch. Give me a second to set that up. I'll link that and I'll link that to you privately so we can keep doing this. All right, because I'm having so much trouble with YouTube. Give me a second here.